Hi everyone, it's Tanja from Tanja Kraus Horsemanship here, and today I'm joining you with another episode or live of thoughts from my walk. And today what I want to talk about is, you'll notice the title of this live is Beware of the Man Who Finds His Inspiration in the Judgment of Others. And it probably sounds a little bit cryptic when you read it, and I'm hoping to explain what I mean by that. And this topic has come to me because I read a lot of articles online. Most of you probably who follow my Tanja Kraus Horsemanship page probably know that I write a lot. I obviously do the Monday Night Lives. I do a lot of filming and putting information out there and all those sorts of things. And the other side of that is that I consume a lot of that stuff as well. So I read other people's articles and I watch videos and I have a look at what people are saying online and all that sort of thing. And the reason this has come to me today is because I have noticed a consistency in articles written by probably a few people, and the consistency within those articles is that they are always based in judgment. And what I mean by that is the inspiration for the article always seems to come from a place of the writer watching what someone else is doing and then writing an article about why they themselves don't do it, or why it's wrong, or why people shouldn't listen to that, or whatever. And that's fine. You know, I'm certainly not saying that we are doing, or I'm not saying that we shouldn't look at what other people are doing and decide whether that's right for us or not. What I'm saying is that if we find our inspiration in the continual judgment of what others are doing, then I feel like that we're going through our life, basically, but more importantly, our horsemanship journey. I feel like if we're always judging what other people are doing and saying, getting on that high horse and saying, well, I don't do that because it's wrong because of this, or I don't do that because of this, and blah, blah, and they shouldn't do that because of this, then I feel like we're not actually growing or learning or sitting in a space that we can receive information, because we come to a point where we're continually looking to criticize. So we basically become heat-seeking missiles for things that are incorrect or wrong, or why we're better than someone, or why our training methods are better than somebody else, instead of coming to things with an open mind and an open heart and going, oh, what can I learn from this? Is this interesting? And so on and so forth. So I guess a lot of my talks have been about what you surround yourself with, and I feel like this is another one of those lessons. If you surround yourself with mentors or instructors that are constantly putting other people down, or constantly looking for the error in other people's ways, then I feel like you're hindering your ability to learn, or perhaps you could be learning more open-minded, better things, because I think that we can learn from everyone. So I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of an example, and the example comes from, it actually comes from the martial arts industry, and my partner, a lot of you know that my partner owns a full-time martial arts school, and I had the privilege of working there for quite a few years and seeing all the things that happened in the school and people walking through the door and this sort of stuff. So what sometimes happens, and we have seen it quite often, and it's a conversation that we've had on many occasions, is The journey to black belt is a long one. It takes, you know, quite a few years to earn your black belt. And in the process and in the journey on the way to black belt, you see people being open and trying to receive information and trying to learn as much as they can and learn from as many, learn from the other people in the school and all that sort of thing. It's really positive, and they're like sponges for information. And then they earn their black belt and they come down, they are stricken with a disease that we call first dan-itis. And what happens when people get struck with first dan-itis is overnight, they've strapped a black belt to them, they walk in the school, and all of a sudden they are instructors and they're better than everybody else, and they start to walk around and say, oh, you can do this better, or that kick should look like this, or that should look like that, and that should look like that. And what they've done is instead of looking in the mirror and trying to learn what they've done on their journey, is automatically by earning that belt, which is a huge achievement, they've all of a sudden turned that mirror outwards and started going, okay, now it's my job to look at everybody else. And I see it in our horsemanship industry, and not that we have levels or ranks or anything like that, but what I see happening, unfortunately, in our industry, to bring it back to horsemanship, is a lot of practitioners with first dan-itis. They're walking around and they're saying, oh, I'm better than such and such because he shouldn't do it that way because it's better my way, and I don't do it that way because of this, and I don't do it that way because of that, instead of just saying, this is how I do it. And that's how I hope to conduct myself for as long as I am a practitioner. I hope to conduct myself in a way, and I certainly hope that that's what I'm doing now. I try very hard. I'm really passionate about it. I try to conduct myself in a way where instead of like I said, I read articles all the time, I look at videos all the time, but instead of me getting my inspiration from that and saying, oh, I didn't agree with that article, so I'm going to write an article about why I didn't agree with that article, I just stick to my own thing, and I would rather share information with you guys that is, this is what I do and this is why I do it, and if that makes sense to you, then that's fantastic. I hope it helps you and your horse. And I like to sit in that, I can own that situation, I can own that information, and I feel like it's an open-minded, positive environment for people to learn from. And I think that it opens it up to, I'm quite happy to share space with fellow practitioners. I've had many horsemanship practitioners come to my courses, and I've treated them with the respect that they deserve, and I've introduced them to the people that are attending the course as a practitioner or an instructor, and I really don't have an issue with that. I don't feel like I need to demote them in any way or pull them down in any way, even though I may not agree with any, maybe some of the things that they do. I'm sure that there's things that I do that they don't agree with, and I completely respect that. So I hope I'm getting the message across that what I'm not saying to not criticize, if you like, or assess what other people are doing and choose to agree or disagree, but what I'm saying is beware of the person that gets their inspiration from doing that consistently, because I feel like that is a situation where they are a magnet, if you like, or their outlook is a negative one. Their outlook is one where they're always looking to disagree or to disempower or to, say why they're better than something, which I feel comes from a place of insecurity at the end of the day. Some of my people that attend my clinics and stuff, things like that, who are psychologists and people in that field could probably expand on that a little bit, but I believe that that's one of the reasons. I feel like pulling other people down is an insecurity, and that's why people do it. So that's my thought from my walk today. Beware of those that seek their inspiration in the judgment and condemnation of others. So I hope that helped, and I hope everyone's having a great Here in Australia, what day is it? Friday. I hope here in Australia everyone's having a great Friday and you all have a great weekend with your ponies, and I look forward to seeing your comments on this video. I'll talk to you all over the weekend.